Hello! I'm just going to do a short video, nice little update. And yes, I am a messy builder. Yes, I do build on a bed sheet, in the basement, on the floor. I have no fancy setups whatsoever. And no, Emmett is not stuck under the dryer system. He's fine. He's going to be okay. Let's focus on a few things. I just finished up tearing apart my arms and redoing the shoulder. And then this took 6 different types of tries, ripping it out, trying it again, ripping it out, trying it again, before I think I got a really good idea of how a skeleton really works. And there's not a true shoulder blade, but I've got really strong double connections going into this nice member, which I think gives a nice muscular look to a bodybuilder's neck where that muscle pops out and kind of centers a good armpit and a good shoulder look to it. And the reason I'm using video is because I can kind of move around and show that this is, I think, a decent shape to a rib cage. And that really is coming together with kind of vertebra going down the back, kind of T800 Terminator 800 braces coming off that. And the head's got a bunch of crazy antler looking things for now, which I think gives it a lot more volume, a little bit more good style to it. But I eventually settled on doing double. These are Technic things that will click. They move up and down, but they hold in place, and they're probably the beefiest thing you can use, because I really needed something that was kind of like an armature. I could click into place and hold a ton of weight as this thing starts to scale up. It's getting really, really heavy. And then I've got a little bit of an idea of my hands, a really ugly method to get the forearms down on these panels to beef out these armatures so they look like they really have some good heft to them. This is the beginning of a, or I might just leave it alone, kind of like the idea is a shield on one side. And then down in here, I saw the legs a while ago, but I don't think I ever talked about how I did it. Where I'm doing what's called poop, piece out of other parts, piece out of parts, where there's not a Bionicle bar or piece that's made that's this long. So if you look in here, I've got axles going through with half Technic lift arm things on either side, and I'm doing what's basically a Bionicle piece, but translating into a long Technic arm to make a piece to get that big, these big long pieces. So if the Bionicle piece doesn't exist, make your own, make up your own pieces. And then I also am using this technique to hold weight, but it only works if they're compressing together, where I have a ball and an axle piece coming down. It's not as strong or beefy as these bad boys, but it does give it that sort of android or biomechanical look that I'm going for. And of course the feet, I've got 4, and then the little one in the back makes 5. But the idea is I'm trying to mimic a human proportion. So if you sit down or squat down, your knees should come up to your chest, which is about that long, which is about that long, which is then about that long, and so on and so forth. And then the same idea, if I spread my hands out and I get the length of that, it's roughly the length of that. And then the forearm's a little bit shorter, which I don't mind. But overall, when you kind of take a look at it from a distance at this point, it should start to look exactly like human proportions, with a nice torso, nice chest cavity, arms at the correct length, the ability to flex and bend at the right lengths, and kind of have all the support that it needs. And then for spine, I'm putting blades coming off the spine to emphasize that dragon-like look. And then the tail has the same rough thickness as the legs, with the addition of spikes, spines, and then gradually tapering out. It's kind of the end. But that's the idea of these belts. Is I go through them over and over and over and over again, and then once you get I get the structure right, it's about skinning it. And then after I'm done skinning it, I'll get in there and detail it. But definitely inventing the structure and making sure it's going to be strong enough takes over half of the time. I think I've been hammering on this for about 6 weeks. And at 20 hours a week, that's about 120 hours already. But it'll be menacing. It's nearly 3 feet tall. It's about 2.5 feet tall, I think, to the top of this head here. So I'm sure if this adds another 6 inches or 4 inches, it'll be roughly 3 feet or a yard tall, and God knows how long. So one of my next master builds, which should fill up half a table or a full table at a display, and should look good at a distance, and hopefully will be good. Cool, that's it.